Hi everyone, welcome back to BEDMAS Tutoring. Today's lesson is on the order of operations. So in mathematics, whenever you're doing any question, and this holds for every single question in mathematics, you always have to follow a very important rule, and that rule is called BEDMAS. And this is what you have to use in order to determine which functions you're going to do first, which parts of the questions you're going to evaluate first. So B stands for brackets, E stands for exponents, D stands for division, M stands for multiplication, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. Okay, and these two are interchangeable. So division and multiplication, and then addition and subtraction are interchangeable. So what I mean by that is that brackets come first, then you have to do exponents, and then with division and multiplication, whichever one you get first in the question, you will do that first. And then these two, definitely division and multiplication, you do before addition or subtraction. However, if you come to a question where you have addition or subtraction, you do whichever one between addition and subtraction that you see first. So multiplication does come before addition and subtraction, and division does come before addition and subtraction. But if you have division and multiplication, you can do them in either order, okay? So that's very important to remember. So if you get multiplication before division, you can go ahead and do that. Or if you have a situation where you have addition and subtraction and you get the subtraction part first, you can do that first as well. So that's what I mean by division and multiplication being interchangeable amongst each other and addition and subtraction being interchangeable amongst each other. Okay, so this is a rule that you have to know in mathematics. Okay, BEDMAS is very, very important, and you have to know this in order to do any question. Okay, now if you're given a simple example where you're given, say, the following, and you're asked to, say, evaluate the following questions or simplify. Okay, so say you're given something like the following: 7 plus 3 times 4. Now, when you get a question like this, you can't just go ahead and do 7 plus 3 and then multiply by 4. So that would give you the incorrect answer. So you always have to follow BEDMAS when doing these questions. So what you're going to do is you're going to write BEDMAS somewhere on your paper, and then you're going to see that you've got addition and multiplication. So multiplication, according to BEDMAS, comes before addition. So that means when I'm simplifying this question, I have to evaluate this part first. So it becomes 3 times 4, which is 12. And then now I only have one operation. I just have addition, so I would go ahead and add those two, and I would get 19. Okay, so if I had done the question in the other way, if I had done 7 plus 3, 10 times 4, I would have gotten the answer of 40, which is actually incorrect. Okay, so this is very important to understand. Now let's try another example. Say we're given this time 7 plus 3 in brackets multiplied by 4. Now this is completely different than the above. Those two brackets change this question entirely because now we've got brackets introduced, so we have to do brackets first. So when I'm simplifying this, I have to do what's inside the bracket. So I'm going to do 7 plus 3, which is 10. And now I'm left with 10 times 4, so one operation, which gives me 40. Okay? Now what if we had another example? Say we had 5 plus 2 to the power of 2. Now in this case, I've got a bracket, addition, and I've got exponents. So the first thing I'm going to do is bracket according to BEDMAS. So whatever's inside of the bracket, you're going to simplify. And even when you're simplifying what's inside of the bracket, you still have to use the rules of BEDMAS. So if you have more than one operation inside the bracket, you still have to follow BEDMAS. Okay, so in this case, what I see here is that I just have 5 plus 2, so I simplify that to 7 and put in the exponent, and then I would evaluate the exponent of 49. Okay? Say we had the following example. Now in this case we have two brackets, and because they're beside each other, that means they're being multiplied. So what I'm going to do first, according to BEDMAS, is my bracket. Inside of my bracket I only have addition, so I would go ahead and do that first. So 2 plus 6 would be 8, and over here I would get 16. Now I have 8 times 16, so I just go ahead and multiply, and I would get 128. What if I had this question? 8 plus 4 divided by 9 minus 3. Now, division comes before addition. However, in this case, you can see that you would not be able to divide this because there's an operation in here. So what you can do in now this case is you can rewrite it, or you cannot do this division first, because as you see, it's 8 plus 4. You have to have one number here to be able to divide the top and the bottom. So if you have a plus or a minus on either the top or the bottom, you can't actually go ahead and divide. So we can rewrite this as 8 plus 4 divided by 9 minus 3, and then we would actually evaluate these parts first. So that would be 12 divided by 6, which would be equal to 2. Okay, now what if we had the example 3 plus 3 over root 9 all to the power of 3. Now in this case, I have to do brackets first. Now inside the bracket, I have a whole bunch of things going on. So inside the bracket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate the root. If you have a root, it's the same. You think of roots, they fall into the same category as exponents. So the root's going to be done first. The root of 9 is equal to 3. And then we can go ahead and add these, but let's just go step by step. So we're going to do the root first. Now again, working inside of the brackets, now I can go ahead and do the addition here. Okay, again, division comes before addition, but that, in this case, because you've got this expression here, you're actually, you would do the top part first. So 3 plus 3 is 6 divided by 3. Okay, now I would do what's left inside the bracket, so it's just division. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then I would just evaluate that part out, which would give me 8. And the thing with these is it takes a lot of practice, so you could really try different examples. As long as you make sure to follow BEDMAS, you should be getting the right answer. Okay, so let's try another example here. So say we have the following. Okay, again, I want to follow BEDMAS. So first thing I want to do is eliminate the bracket. So 5 minus 3 is going to be, 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. Now I want to deal with the exponents next. And you can do a few of these, and you don't have to write out all the steps. You could do this in one step if you wanted. But I'm just trying to show you each step here. So now you've got addition and subtraction, so those can be done in any order. So you're just going to do whatever comes first. You could do 9 plus 4 minus 9. Okay, so 9 plus 4 is going to be 13, minus 9 is going to be 4, plus 9 is going to be 13, minus 7 is going to be 6. Okay, let's try another example. See, we get something like this. Now in this case, before I do the root, I have to simplify what's inside of it. So I'm going to do this part first, 21 minus 3, which is going to be 18. Now I can go ahead and do the division. Now when I have the division written like this, if I don't have one number on the top, I have to simplify what's on the top and then make sure I only have one number on the top and the bottom, and then we're allowed to do the division, okay? So you kind of assume that this is actually in brackets, really, if you see something like this, okay? Now over here we've got division, so we can go ahead and do that, and then a number that multiplies itself to get 9 is 3. Let's do another one here, sorry. Let's do 9 divided by let's do 9 divided by 3 multiplied by 7. Okay, so 9 divided by 3 times 7. So over here we've got division and multiplication. So according to BEDMAS, so we can do those in any order. Okay, so 9 divided by 3 is going to give 3, and then times 7, so it's going to be 3 times 7, and then that's going to be 21. Say we have 9 times 5 divided by 9. So now in this case, again, you do whichever one comes first, because division and multiplication, like I said, are interchangeable, so you do whichever one you see first in the question. So in this case, 9 times 5 is 45 divided by 9, so that would just be 5 as the final answer. Okay. Now say you're given something like the following. So again, so what you're going to do first is you're going to go ahead and do the bracket first. However, when you're doing the bracket, you still have to follow BEDMAS. So now once you're inside the bracket, you have to see what functions you have here. So over here we've got 3 times 6. So multiplication, it does come before addition and subtraction. So we're going to go 3 plus 2 minus 3 times 6, which is 18, and then plus 5, and then square. Okay, now again, I'm going to work on the bracket. Now we've got addition and subtraction, so we can just go ahead and do them in any order. So 3 plus 2 is 5, minus 18. Okay, so 5 minus 18 plus 5. Okay, so 5 plus 5, 10. So 5 minus 18 is going to give negative 13. Plus 5 is going to give negative 8. Now the next thing you're going to do, now in this case we're going to do exponents next. So negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. And then you could have done this at any point. You could have dragged it down, or you could have actually worked this out as well. So multiplication is going to come before addition or subtraction. So 4 times 3 is going to be 12. Now you've got addition and subtraction, so we're going to go ahead and just add and subtract. So 64 plus 7 is going to be 71, minus 12 is going to be 59. Okay, oops. Okay, now the pen has stopped working, so just 1 minute here. There we go. So the answer for that is going to be 59. So you just have to follow BEDMAS. At this point, I could have done this, but I just want to show you step by step following BEDMAS. There's so many other examples to try. If you have any more questions, feel free to email me at evemathtutoring@outlook.com. If you have any other examples that you're not sure how to do, go ahead and just post them on the channel page or give me an email and I will go ahead and do them for you in a video. All right? Thanks. Bye.